Welcome to the Healthy Food Guide, the new series that brings you the latest solid scientific evidence on all things food.
Research from the earlier decades is now being questioned very strongly.
There are nutrition-charged, easy recipes by culinary expert Sam Campbell.
Let's pull it all together.
You won't want to miss. And star nutritionist Claire Turnbull is challenging a family to get real by transforming their health in just 5 months. So let's get into it. This time on the Healthy Food Guide. Are your hormones making you fat? I visit scientists and academics to get the latest.
People who diet and lose weight tend to have higher hunger hormones.
Teenage gamer Tamati is on Claire's health hit list.
I was shocked and surprised when I got here.
And Chef Sam rustles up some spaghetti with kick.
It's a good old chilli with a bit of a twist.
And a smoothie to keep your hunger hormones in check. Because I'm here to find out what is the link between hormones and food. So why am I at a corporate entertainment venue this week? I'm demonstrating the amazing hormone network going on in our bodies. Inside us, hormones are constantly firing chemical messages to each other and our organs. And when they hit their target, not bad, Carly. They have an effect not only on the cells or organs that they hit, but also on each other. So when hormones get out of whack, they can affect everything from our appetite to how we gain and where we carry weight. But what part does food play in all this? Can I influence my hormones with what I eat? And what happens when the hormonal upheaval of menopause strikes? Oh, why, of course. Hormones released in the stomach regulate how hungry we are. Then others in the rest of the gut tell us when we're full. All these hormones work together to keep our weight consistent. So what happens with our appetite hormones when our weight is steady and then we overeat, like on special occasions? Associate Professor of Medicine Dr. Rinke has the latest.
Our bodies are designed to be perfectly in balance with energy out over here and energy in over here. Usually, no matter what we do, our bodies are able to keep our energy intake balanced to that in order to have a stable body weight. That's all down to the hormones that regulate when we're hungry and when we're full.
So hormones help our body cope with the odd splurge, but when overeating becomes a habit, the sliding scale of imbalance begins.
When you consistently overeat, then the hormones that tell you you're full reset to a higher level, and it's harder to get them back to what they once were. And it only needs us to neglect those hormones by eating 1 extra potato chip a day to then get weight gain of about 2 kilos by the end of the year.
Our individual metabolism obviously plays a role in what weight we are. But did you know your hormones go to war every time you try to lose weight?
When people lose weight, the hormones signal to the brain that the fat stores are going down and that we should do something to replenish those.
And keeping weight off is another battle of the hormones.
People who diet and lose weight tend to have higher hunger hormones and less of the fullness hormones, and they need to battle against those to maintain the weight that they've lost. It's quite likely that those hormones will reset over time, but it does take longer than a year.
A whole year? No wonder it's so easy to put weight back on. Of course, one of our biggest hormonal changes in life comes at middle age. So do our sex hormones influence our weight? I'm finding out later in the show.
I'm Claire Turnbull, and I'm helping all of the Parkinson family improve their health, but especially Dad Johnny, who has major issues with his diabetes and needs to get his diagnosis checked. Mum Nikki needs help to get real about her nutrition to conquer her weight loss plateau, and Nikki's teenage brother Tamati needs cluing up on how to get off the couch and change his life. 10 weeks into the Parkinson's quest to change how they eat, think about and organise food. But some are doing better than others.
I don't know if anyone be cheating, no Nikki or Johnny. Maybe me. I buy a lot of candy.
French exchange student Jules has proved he's the fittest, so now the others have some catching up to do.
It's been awesome having the home gym. Instead of working out 3 times a week, I now go 5 or 6.
And there's someone else who needs my individual attention. Tamati says he wants to be fit and healthy, but how do I get this typical teenager off the couch and into a better life? Hey, Tamati!
Hi.
Well, I got your blood results back, and one of the things that I saw from your bloods is that you've got low vitamin D. How much time do you actually spend inside?
Probably around about 8 to 12 hours, I'd say.
Wow. So sometimes you're inside all day. Tamati's problem is he just doesn't know what to do with himself other than play computer games. When you spend a lot of time inside, there's a real possibility that you would struggle with low mood and actually now or in the future depression. Have you ever felt low before or had a problem like that?
Probably recently, actually. Just after I left high school,
So we definitely need to break that cycle and actually get you out there doing more sociable things. So second thing, your food diary is crazy bad. You eat so much junk food, chippings, so much sugar, virtually no fibre, loads and loads of fat. So we need to break the cycle. Let's go. I'm surprising Tamati with an experience to bring him out of his shell. Okay, so it's a gym, but he doesn't know what's really involved until he walks through that door.
Wow.
Come here, what do you think? Why do you think I brought you here?
I was pretty shocked and surprised when I got here. Had a bit of a meltdown there.
Have you boxed before?
I've played a couple boxing games here and there.
It's good for your body. It's going to help you look good, feel good, build some muscles for the ladies. But also, doing something like this is a great routine to get into. It's easy to look at Tamati and think that he's really lazy, but I think he just actually lacks the confidence.
What are we going to do with the jab? Jab first? With the swing? You need to work about.
When Claire told me I had to get in there, I was a bit nervous at first.
Push him back.
I'm really proud of Tamati, and he's giving it his best.
Yes.
Because he's actually got quite good skills.
Good, right? It's definitely something I would like to keep up again. I'm pretty keen to get buff. A couple of weeks, you'll see.
A couple of weeks? It doesn't happen by magic. Tamati needs to get off the junk food to reduce his sugar and saturated fat intake, start eating veggies and whole foods instead, and get outside to increase his vitamin D and improve his mood. It wouldn't hurt to try new things and become more sociable too. But let's not scare him too much.
I'm learning that tuning into my appetite hormones can tell me if I'm hungry or full. And now I want to know more. I'm here to find out if my hormones can influence where I gain weight. A session in the Bod Pod with Associate Professor Razan, let's go, will reveal my body fat composition.
It's very useful because if you have a higher body fat content over a long period of time, we can draw conclusions about disease development, for instance, cardiovascular disease or diabetes, and we can try and intervene earlier.
Well, I guess that makes stripping down worthwhile, but only just. So I'm about to find out exactly where I'm storing my fat and how that could change as I age. Deep breath, Scarly.
So here's your results. It shows you your percentage fat, and also down here it gives you your body fat rating. You're between 22 and 30% body fat, which means it's normally healthy.
Can you tell me where I'm storing my fat?
Women store their fat typically around the hip area, around the thighs and breast, because it's driven by estrogen to a degree. And then men store their fat mostly around the abdominal area.
Our sex hormones, estrogen for women and testosterone for men, lay down fat as part of the body's evolutionary drive for survival.
It could change closer to menopause age, because that's the time when estrogen levels will drop down significantly. And one of the key things that happen with menopause is an increase in weight and also a little bit of a redistribution of the weight.
So pre-menopause, I'm holding my weight typically in my hips and my thighs, but after menopause, it moves up a bit.
It could move up a bit, yes. You will still have it where you had it, but it might extend further in the body as well, yes.
Charming. As our balance of hormones change at middle age, it also affects how our bodies burn and use kilojoules, and in turn, our ability to lose fat.
As you age, your metabolic rate slows down,
What can I do to stay healthy?
Follow a healthy lifestyle, which includes having daily exercise, because that keeps our resting metabolic rate high, and we keep our lean body mass high.
Menopause is a few years off for me yet, but when it comes, can I counter its effect with food? I asked expert Nikki Bazant.
You can potentially make your menopause a little bit easier with food. The first thing is don't go on any fad diets. You're only going to probably gain the weight back. A better approach is probably to look at portion size, so keep an eye on those. But really important to still keep up our intake of calcium-rich foods to look after our bones. And then also keep an eye on alcohol, because controlling our alcohol intake is really going to be great for weight control.
And what about my appetite hormones? Can I influence them at all?
To manage our appetite, having regular meals is a really good idea, so we don't get too hungry at any one point and overeat later on down the track. And then keeping our protein intake up throughout the day is a good idea, not just in a big chunk at dinner time. That's going to keep us feeling fuller for longer. It can be useful to think about tuning into your body's hunger and fullness cues. And that's really just about slowing down and eating mindfully.
So don't beat yourself up if weight loss isn't coming easy. It could all be down to your hormones. Getting that checked out and adjusting your diet might be all the help you need. This week, the Healthy Food Guide team are using dark chocolate in an unexpected way because dark and rich chocolate has the most antioxidants. So they're creating a rich sauce with a banging black bean spaghetti.
It's a good old chili. This one's made meat-free with red kidney beans, and for a bit of a twist, serving it with black bean spaghetti. We're going to get into the onion, garlic and chili, and you can whip through the capsicum. Take the seed out by cutting it straight down the middle and just rip the core out. I love using green and red in any Mexican kind of cuisine. Adds a nice bit of fruity sweetness. Just gonna dice up the onion. This is a good base for my Mexican-style sauce that contains chili and often chocolate for that distinctive punch of flavor. The chili, I'm gonna take the seeds out because these are spicy. This is a good family-friendly dish. You don't want it too hot for the kids. If you want to build your tolerance for spicy food, try by starting small, increasing spices slowly and having something like milk or sour cream on hand to douse the fire. The actual spicy part is not just the seed, it's the white membrane where a lot of the heat comes from. And if you want to not waste that, you can turn that into a chili oil. Chili oil adds a hit of spice to salad dressings and stir fries. But you only want to make it in small amounts because it doesn't keep for long. A little bit of garlic, we're just going to use a couple of cloves. Always New Zealand garlic, whenever you can. So there we go. I'm going to grab me some olive oil. I'm going to saute that about 5 minutes, soften it right up. A couple of tablespoons. All the veg in. This is such a great, quick and easy dish to start because all in one pot. Yum. Right, I'm just gonna grab the Mexican spice. Essential to any good Mexican chili, mole. The usual cumin, paprika, cayenne, some dried chilies. Next up is the lentils. So I'm gonna grab me a sieve. I need to give them a rinse.
Yeah.
Lentils are great. I love using them out of all the pulses because they really absorb all of the flavor.
They're a really good way to use less meat in a dish or completely replace all the meat.
I'm adding just 3/4 cup of the lentils, but they'll swell up when they cook, so they'll definitely have a presence in the completed dish. They have great texture and are really affordable. Done. Right, do you want to grab me the kidney beans and the tomatoes? And I'll grab the stock. Straight in. Whack the can of tomatoes in there. These are great, these are already chopped. I love kidney beans, and these ones are a premium bean from Italy. Versatile, beautiful flavor, and a big part of any great chili recipe.
Nutrition-wise, they're great too because they're low GI, high fibre, protein. Brilliant thing to be using.
Simmer that 30 minutes. Veg next. Gonna grab the mushrooms, cut those into quarters. Yep, yeah, they look great. So we're gonna add the rest of the veg. Using kumara adds extra nutritious chunk, and a cup of mushrooms brings more fibre and a little extra protein. Gonna let that simmer away until they're tender. Black bean spaghetti is next.
It's 100% black beans, incredibly high in fibre. And this bag has got the same amount of protein as 2 palm-sized pieces of meat.
That's incredible. Beautiful black pasta. Best of all, black bean spaghetti only takes 5 minutes on the boil to be ready. So it's quite a bit quicker than the regular spaghetti. Gonna leave that to the side, and we're gonna get onto the coriander and the chocolate, which will add to the chili. But a little bit of dark chocolate brings a beautiful sweetness, earthiness, and depth of flavor. It's a marriage made in heaven. The higher the cocoa content, the more antioxidants chocolate contains. And if you don't have any dark chocolate at home, a little bit of cocoa powder would be a great alternative. Grab the coriander. The zingy freshness of coriander will nicely offset the deep flavors of the chocolate and chili. Let's get the avocado done.
An avocado is such a lovely addition to this, nutrition-wise, because there's heaps of healthy monounsaturated fat in there. Good for your heart.
Got to have avocado. It works well with the spices in there.
One avocado has more potassium than a medium-sized banana. And potassium's really important for regulating your blood pressure.
Gorgeous avo. I'm going to grab some plates and plate up.
Oh my goodness, it looks amazing.
That is Mexican to a T.
Sour cream for you?
You got it.
You really do not miss the meat at all.
This veggie chili black bean spaghetti dish teams those authentic Mexican flavours with a highly nutritious spaghetti for something a bit different. This dish takes a bit of simmering time, but the steps are easy. First, sauté the onion, capsicum, garlic and spices for 5 minutes. Then add the tomatoes, beans and stock to simmer for 30 minutes. Next, add mushrooms and kumara and simmer for around 25 minutes until the veggies are tender. Stir in the chocolate and coriander and cook gently until the sauce thickens. Then serve with cooked black bean spaghetti and top with sour cream, avocado and coriander. This legume-loaded dish is super packed with low GI carbs, high fibre and protein to keep your blood, heart and brain pumping.
Over at the Parkinsons, both Johnny and Jules are making good use of the circuit challenge I set them.
Let's go, 10 more. Jules has put on so much muscle, he works out every day without fail, and his nutrition has improved a lot, and I'm slowly putting on a few kilos too. Yeah, good job.
These guys are gaining weight the healthy way, and Jules is going all out on packing his meals with protein too. 10 eggs! Well, he is a growing boy. Tamati, though, hasn't really hit the start button.
I've been using the home gym only like once a week. I don't know, like the motivation.
Unlike his competitive sister.
Get lost.
But that's given me an idea.
Now, what's this? Look what I got.
What is it?
Something from Claire.
Oh, great.
Congratulations, I've entered you into a charity run along Mission Bay, and what a mission it will be. You will both be competing in the 5-kilometre run. A bit scared, because I don't know if I can run that far. I will beat you, I will waste you.
Probably.
Now get training.
Now we know that having protein throughout the day is a way to stay on top of your hunger hormones. Sam's got a red velvet smoothie recipe to do just that.
So this is not your average smoothie, Claire. This is more of a meal than a snack. This is a power smoothie. I'm gonna take care of the avocado, and you're on the veg and fruit. Beetroot, banana, and blueberries.
Smoothies can often be loaded with sugar and low in fibre and protein, but not this one, thanks to the veggie element, muesli and milk I've chosen.
Half a avo. Gonna give it that nice creaminess.
And it's adding healthy fat to this, which we really need. Not a lot of people would think about putting beetroot in a smoothie.
Beetroot has a beautiful natural sweetness and the colour adds a real richness to this smoothie. And if you grow your own, this is a good way to use them up.
Blueberries, because I love using frozen. It thickens it and keeps it cold.
Lots of beautiful antioxidants in these, with them being such a dark fruit.
Next is the cocoa. I love adding cocoa to sort of beetroot flavoured dishes. It's got such a great earthy flavour. Works so well together.
Cocoa adds another little boost of antioxidants to the smoothie.
2 tablespoons. And vanilla extract, which adds a beautiful sweetness and floral note.
And the extract is so much better because it's actually made from the vanilla beans rather than the essence, which is artificial.
Vanilla made straight from the source has my vote every time, and I don't use anything else.
And we're using soy milk today because I really like the flavour.
You can use any milk you like in a smoothie, which is a good thing. Almond or cow's milk. But the nice thing about soy is it's a great way to get protein and calcium.
Totally.
This particular muesli gives the recipe extra fibre, LSA and oats. LSA is a mix of linseed, sunflower and almond, all of which will keep you fuller for longer.
Done. Glasses. Smells really chocolatey.
Wow.
This looks velvety.
This is definitely going to keep us full.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I design all my meals with protein in mind, not just the dinners. And Claire's got some good ways of swapping protein into meals that are missing it.
To get more protein at breakfast, one easy thing you can do is, rather than having something like jam on toast, is swap it for an egg on toast. And for a snack, rather than just mindlessly grazing on fruit, actually have a piece of fruit with either some cheese or nuts, because the protein in there will make it a much more filling snack. Discovering snacks that fill her up and making healthy lunches to satisfy her taste buds are ongoing challenges for Nikki Parkinson.
The hardest thing has been the food, mixing it up and making sure that you have something different, because otherwise if you keep eating the same salad over and over, yeah, it gets a bit sick of it, but exercise is easy.
I want Nikki to realise she can't just rely on running to burn off unhealthy food. So one of the things that's really important is to make sure that you've planned what you're going to eat after you do exercise, because it can be so easy to make unhealthy choices. So is that something you're doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a piece of cake.
It will take you well over an hour of a full pace running to burn off a piece of cake.
Oh my God.
So it's much better for you to think about exercise as something to do to tone up and to feel good, rather than just burn off unhealthy food. Increasing her veggies won't just improve Nikki's nutrition, but if she combines them with protein, she'll stay fuller for longer and want to snack less. Johnny has the opposite issue to Nikki. He wants to put on weight, so his nutrition around exercise is different.
I get a bit confused about whether I should be eating before I exercise or whether I should be eating after I exercise.
When it comes to nutrition and exercise, a lot of it is about getting the timing right. In Johnny's case, he needs to be eating after exercise. For some people, weight can just drop off them when they're exercising, and you're one of those people. So you need a small meal to bridge the gap between exercise and the next meal, because otherwise you're just going to lose more weight, and that's not what we want.
What about protein shakes? Is they all right for me to take?
Protein shakes are going to be a really helpful thing for you to have after exercise, sometimes between meals. Johnny and Nikki have very different approaches to their very different health goals. Their journey is one to watch. And Tamati, let's just say he's going to be an ongoing challenge.
Next week on the Healthy Food Guide, what is the bottom line when it comes to fat?
Conventional wisdom says saturated fat's bad, unsaturated fat's good. The situation is far from simple.
I investigate if full fat is back. And what fat is really good for you.
And no, I'm not in Italy. It's grown and produced right here in New Zealand.
For more delicious recipes and the latest expert advice, pick up this month's Healthy Food Guide magazine.